Mercury will be in retrograde from July 18th through August 11th. Now, this retrograde this time around, okay, is not going to feel as harsh as the last retrograde in Pisces. However, we are in heavy retrograde energy, so I'm sure, we all probably will get some energy confused with Mercury. The retrograde that is going to kick us in the butt will actually be Saturn retrograde, which is also happening right now as Mercury is in retrograde. Okay, hooray, hooray. However, Mercury itself is not going to be so harsh. Okay, Mercury is not going to talk to many other planets while in retrograde, so we are fortunate enough to have at least that. Okay, there are two aspects that happen while Mercury directly to Mercury while Mercury is in retrograde. Okay, there's a conjunction with the sun. All right. And then at the beginning of the retrograde, there is sextile energy to Venus. Okay. So it's not, it's not any terrible aspects or things that, not square energy, right? There's no square energy to this retrograde. It's just sextile, which is opportunities that will present themselves. That's not good or bad. It's just opportunities, period. And then a conjunction is working together with the sun. The sun is coming in, and shining a light on Mercury, and we got to figure out what that is. Okay, so there's really only two aspects that we really need to worry about in Mercury retrograde. Hooray! Now, Mercury retrograde is going to bring opportunities, right? Because every retrograde has its purpose, okay? So this retrograde, Mercury being in Leo, is going to bring opportunities to kind of refine your creative activities or the things that you do, the things that you take pride in, how you think about things. This could be how you perceive things, like how your mind can be a bit dramatic, or how your mind can be creative, how you can refine that energy. Okay, it can be around how you've shown up to communication or how your logic is processed, based in ego and pride. Opportunities to kind of reflect, restructure, or repair energy as it relates to how you communicate, and the pride that you communicate in, the ego that you communicate in. Okay, this will bring opportunities for us to reflect on, repair, restructure, energy around us showing up as if we know everything, right? We have all the answers. We just know, because Leo energy, my pride, my ego, I just know. I'm wrong, though. You're wrong. What are you talking about? You're wrong. I'm right. It's opportunities for you to kind of take a step back and change your perspective. Okay, so this is the energy of Mercury retrograde in Leo. Okay, those Leo attributes, which is pride, ego, charisma, creativity, drama. All right, and how your mind is processing based on those attributes, right? That is what's coming back to us in retrograde. So let's jump right into the signs. Again, I'm going to do my whole spiel. This will be most accurate if you look at this based on your rising sign, okay? Because this will encompass where this energy will show up in your life, okay? But if you want to look at this from your sun or your moon sign, your sun sign would be in relation to your perspective, your focus, your attitude, your ego, and your pride, okay? And if you're looking at this from a moon perspective, this will be reflective in like your home, your internal security, your instincts, and your intuition and your emotions. Okay, so that's how you will process it. But your rising sign, right, is most accurate to understand where or what will be popping up. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Pisces. Okay, so Mercury is going to be going into retrograde in your 6th house. So Mercury is going to be working on your routines, right? your courage around your routines, your perception of your routines, your creativity within your routines, you know, how you show up when your mind is triggered, when you are triggered, when your ego is triggered, when your pride is triggered, like your perception of your habits is really what Mercury is going to be working on in retrograde. Your perception of your habits and how you show up as it relates to your habits and your routines within your daily life. Okay. So as Mercury starts retrograde, Mercury is going to be sextile to Venus in the 4th house. All right. So the 4th house is very representative of your inner child. It's your past. It's your origins. It's your upbringing. It's your nurturing parent. It is your sense of security. It is your literal home. Okay. So Venus in the 4th house, right? Venus is the ruler of peace, love, abundance, partnerships, relationship. Venus, you know, is also mother, right? So this is heavy emphasis on your upbringing, heavy emphasis on your mother, heavy emphasis on your inner child, right? And you wanting peace and harmony. Right. So Venus is going to be communicating with Mercury across the way. All right, 2 houses down. Venus is going to call up Mercury and say, hey, look, there needs to be peace in the home. There needs to be some sort of peace internally, whether that is in your physical home, whether that is inside of yourself, whether that is your inner child. Venus is going to be like, look, Mercury, I want to bring peace here. How can we work together to do that? Right now, Mercury is like, yeah, we could do that. There's some here within the, you know, routines and the habits. I was already, you know, in that house before. I was already in the 4th house on May 30th, and that's important. In the 4th house on May 30th, and I saw some things. Me and the sun saw some things in that house. So yeah, I'm over here in the house of routines, and I think I know, you know, just the solution to bring peace, right? Bring in the reinforcements, right? Reflection, restructure, repair of past energy, right? And this is something that relates to your routines and how you operate in your routines within your ego or your pride and the perception that you have, how that all plays a part within one another. All right. Now, Venus was like, yes, bring peace, bring peace. And Venus is in Gemini, the 4th house, right? So they have that conversation. You have some past activity as retrograde pops into play, right? That'll pop up, that'll bubble up. You know, this is an internal thing. This is your 6th and your 4th house. So this is like a very internal type of energy, okay? Then on July 31st, Mercury is going to be in a conjunction with the sun. Now, this is where that May 30th date plays a part. Okay, because on May 30th, the sun and Mercury were in a conjunction. And if you can guess where, the 4th house, they both was there talking. I already said it. You know, they was chilling in the 4th house, the sun and Mercury, right? While Mercury was direct, the sun and Mercury were having a conversation. All right. They were talking about what was going on in that 4th house. They were gossiping. Look at this inner child. Look at, you know, the upbringing and the impact it had. And the sun is like, yeah, because you see that over there in that corner. Flashes are like, yeah, because, you know, it's because of that, really, for real. This house smells because there's a pile of garbage over there in the corner. You don't see that over there? Let me flash my light on that for you, Mercury. Right. That already happened May 30th. Okay. Now, the sun and Mercury moves a little bit faster than the sun. So Mercury made it to the 6th house first. And now on the 31st, the sun is making it to the 6th house, but Mercury is backtracking, right? So Mercury is coming back to meet the sun. And Mercury is like, look, all right. So I just had a conversation with Venus. She is in the 4th house, and she told me that this is what this person wants. This person wants peace and security at home, peace and security within themselves. This person wants to adjust their inner child for happiness. How can we make that happen? Now, both the sun and Mercury are in the 6th house. So therapy, counseling. Let's add a little bit of counseling to this equation as the sun comes in. The sun is like counseling, therapy, because it's riddled all up and through their dating life or the things that they choose to create, that pile of garbage that I showed you on May 30th, yeah, it stinks. It stinks. And we need to get them to adjust their habits and routines so that they can learn to start clearing this trash from their home. Because the problem, the sun with his flashlight, the problem is the trash in the corners that has not been cleared for decades. That's the problem. We need cleaners, a therapist, a counselor. So let's add that to the schedule. Mercury is like, yeah, I got you, son. I got you. I got you. Therapy, counseling. Yeah, we need to undo what was done in the past. That upbringing, there's something there that's not right. We need to clear that out. Therapy, counseling. Yep, that's the solution. So now the sun and Mercury having a conversation, and all of a sudden in your life, you start in your mind, all you could think about, man, I feel like there's things coming back towards you, and you already started to feel that way since May 30th. Dang, I feel like I might need counseling. Dang, I feel like I might need a little bit of therapy. That has already crossed your mind, right? And now we're, again, Mercury in retrograde and the sun are talking again, and they like therapy, 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 counseling, counseling, counseling. And you're like, dang, and all of these things from your past are coming back, and you're just like, dang, I don't know why I do this, and it's just like, I don't know how come, why my routines are like this, and I feel like I might need therapy. Ta-da! There go your solution right there. That's how you create that peace, love, and abundance at home that Venus recognizes you want, the happiness that you want, the peace that you want. Now you have it in your head that maybe in your routine, you need to get up the courage to go sit on somebody's couch and talk about that trash in your imaginary home. Your internal security is a little smelled up from rotting energy that don't belong there anymore, need to be cleaned out, right? That's how retrograde is going to work for everybody, all right? It's the communication between Venus, the sun, and Mercury, all right? So with that, after the 31st, we clear. Mercury will retrograde back, and then it'll start going back forward and trying to catch the sun again. That's really just what that is, right? But we have so many other retrogrades happening in this particular moment. I think Mercury is just going to give us a little bit of a break. And you know what? I myself am very grateful for that, because Saturn is whooping us. Saturn, the teacher, Saturn, the stern father, is tearing us up. You hear me? During this retrograde, tearing us up. Okay. So I'm glad for a little bit of reprieve from this Mercury retrograde. Okay, Pisces. So with that, I hope this reaches you well.